These are the solicits for December of this year, final month of the year. Yeah, so we'll just start working through them here. It starts off with Justice League Unlimited issue 2, Mark Waid, Dan Mora. Obviously, we're looking forward to this new book starting. So not much we can say as of yet, but obviously it's one of these wraparound covers with a shit ton of characters on it.
Just about everybody. I did see a blurb from Mark Waid earlier in the week where he said that he has a core characters that he wants to use, and then someone like Star Sapphire who he's never written before, right? So he's pretty excited to use. But then it's also calling up Dan Mora and be like, hey, who do you want to draw? And him working that in. So I think that's pretty fun. So then when you see them all on this cover like this, I feel like it's giving us the scope of what's to come.
Then we got Batman 157, which I don't know what's this? Something. I'm trying to figure out who the hell this like weird crossover of Superman and Captain America is that's on the cover here. You're not looking at it, Matt?
No, I am. I don't know. You're talking about 157, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's... Is this Hush? No, it's not Hush.
Make that bigger. Yeah, I don't think so. It looks like... I'd be crazy. It looks like U.S. Agent, but that's a Marvel character. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's a Superman S on the chest, though, is it not?
It kind of looks like one. So... But I don't think it's a full S if I'm looking close. Okay. Because there's stars. There's a star in it, so it comes down kind of like when Bucky was Cap and he wore his here. So it kind of does. So maybe it's meant to elicit the response of an S. So whoever this is supposed to be.
The solicit text mentions the Court of Owls, so I don't know who this. Maybe that's just a new character that Zdarsky's going to torture us with. I mean, I hate to be pessimistic, guys. I do, but like this character's design is not filling me with confidence, I have to say.
And you neglected to mention there's like a Spawn-esque cape on top of it that he's wearing. I don't even think my brain registered that was attached to him. I just thought that was background stuff. Yeah. So. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, only one issue of Batman December though. That's nice. Yeah. Unless they've spread them out through the solicits to give me a nasty surprise. That's what I was thinking too, but I didn't want to put that out. But they normally put them together. But they did the last couple of months. So it seems like we're back to just the one a month, which is nice for my sanity at the very least. The New Gods issue 1, Ram V and Evan Cage. Now this obviously is new, but it's not a surprise. We knew this was coming. It had been announced previously at Comic-Con. Yeah. So. Yeah, exciting, regular size, all the usual stuff. It's got a pretty fun cover. Yeah, I don't really much to say except can't wait for a new Ram V book, so looking forward to it. We got Absolute Batman issue 3, which not much to say except the symbol on his chest keeps growing in size. I feel like it's going to be taking over the world by the time we get to issue 10. Snyder and Dragotta are definitely messing with people, right? Like each time it keeps getting bigger. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a shit-looking bat logo because it's just this like, it's almost a rectangle with just a few points at the top and bottom. It looks like a brick. Yeah, But and if this is just Batman running around hitting people with bricks, I'm definitely still in. But I appreciate them getting into the joke of being really big and keep getting larger. I'm all for that, but I do think the base logo is a bit shit. But no, yeah, definitely, and maybe there's a reason for that too because we still haven't read any of this character, So we got Metamorpho, the Element Man issue 1. New, I'm going to assume miniseries. Doesn't say that, but I'm going to assume it. It's Al Ewing writing with Steve Lieber on the art. Did we know about this? Nope. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Yeah, we knew Al Ewing was coming to DC because he's got one of the Absolute books, but this is a second Al Ewing DC book. That's kind of cool. That's kind of exciting. That's very cool. And it's with like a lower tier character with a, Lieber's art is definitely, kind of perfect for Metamorpho. So here's my question though. On the cover of this book, why is he holding what appears to be the star of the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I'm just assuming now that they want Sarah Michelle Gellar to play Sapphire
Yeah,
in the DCU. That's all I can.
it kind of looks like her though. That's the first thing
It
I thought when I
does.
looked at that cover.
It does.
Yeah, I'm assuming it is Sapphire. Obviously, who else would it be?
Yes.
Unless Metamorph was
Stepping out.
He's wandering a bit.
But it looks like Simon and Java are behind them at the edge of the pool. So I would.
Because of Batman and the Outsiders that I read for Patreon last week, this is fresh in my brain. I'm surprised Java's not face palming in the background, being upset that he's not holding her himself.
You know what? If I can zoom in, it kind of does look like a face palm.
Dear. Yeah. So that's cool.
This is exciting because I love Steve Lieber's work on the Jimmy Olsen book, and then he worked with Mark Russell on another. It was about was it with one of the lower tier characters as well, and it had to do with them doing like a superhero Uber type deal where you call them for help, and that was fun. So this seems to be right up his alley.
Yeah, then we got Superman 21, more Superman, Superwoman stuff with Lois, and we got Doomsday underneath them, which is kind of a fun visual. Not that I'm in love that we're doing Doomsday stuff necessarily, but we'll see how it goes, I suppose.
Yeah, a lot of fun covers on that one too. Without looking through them all.
Absolute Superman issue 2 by Aaron Sandoval. Wonder Woman 16, and we have a very noir pulp kind of book cover style cover for this one. We got Detective Chimp with Diana exposing the truth, apparently.
Yep. That's a great cover.
Redondo on this issue. That's an interesting artist for this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still kind of wish Sam Pierre was doing all the issues, but if you're going to have someone else step in, I'm not mad at Redondo.
Never mad at Redondo.
Not mad at all. Absolute Wonder Woman issue 3 there as well. Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. Detective Comics 1092. We have Batman and Robin on the cover with a character that is that like a scarecrow maybe, or maybe it's someone new. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it looks like a scarecrow type character. Has the hand wraps and everything.
I would say it's skewing towards feminine, but I mean, maybe it is just this.
I had thought it was nobody for a second, but then upon closer examination, it's definitely not her.
Yeah. Well, there's a character mentioned in the Solicit that's a new character, so I'm going to assume it's them. Azuma.
Yeah, who is a scalpel-fingered creature collecting the plasma of young men? And what is Asima's connection to Bruce Wayne?
Is plasma a euphemism or what? I mean, it probably just means the blood, but I don't know. Sounds a bit dodgy. Action Comics 1078. We got Mark Waid with Tamaki still on the backup, which is very cool. So yeah, a lot of supporting super characters on the cover. Supergirl's front and center with the Superboys and Natasha Steele kind of like around her, which is kind of fun. Action Comics 1079 is also there, as is 1080 and 1081. So that is weekly in December, which it had been as well. I guess it's the last month of it though, because I think it was like 3 months of weekly. Kind of like the Tower was at Detective. That's what we compared it to. And not just because Tamaki was involved in that as well.
No, just, the type of story that's being told.
Yeah. Next up, we got Nightwing 121, Dan Waters, Dexter Soy. Nightwing is fighting people with bunny masks on. Best I can tell. I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious what this is. We'll see, I guess. Batman and Robin 16, Philip Kennedy Johnson, writing with Miguel Madoncha. Wait a minute. Is he on the next issue of Batman and Robin?
Yes.
Johnson?
That was the last, I thought we talked about that last week when we covered Batman and Robin.
Well, I knew that was the last Williamson issue. But for some reason, when we finished that issue, my thought was, I'll try the next one, but it's probably going to suck, because I didn't remember that Philip Kennedy Johnson was writing that.
Oh, no. I don't even remember you saying that, though. I didn't think you said I thought you were just like, we're going to, we had Philip Kennedy Johnson come on, so we're
maybe I didn't say it out loud, but I had a pessimistic thought in my head of, it's probably just a one and done, because it's probably going to suck. And it turns out to be Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Yep.
So cool. Batman and Robin 16. Neat. All right. Challengers of the Unknown issue 1 by Christopher Cantwell and Sean Isaacs. How do you feel about this?
I'll check this one out. I like the concept of the challengers, so curious to see how they fit in with the Justice League going forward, because it looks like there's some Justice League characters in this
the Trinity
lineup.
Or with them.
Yeah,
and they've all got like their color scheme changed to match the challengers.
To match the Challenger of the Unknown. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll try it, but I mean, we'll see. Then we have Superwoman Special issue 1, written by Joshua Williamson and art by Edwin Gammon. This is the 48-page one-shot, obviously, focusing on Lois. Which, you know, I'm not mad at a Lois-focused one-shot. I mean, but more of Williamson's Superman run's not something that I necessarily want either.
I plead the fifth.
And we're already getting like another special soon, right? There's a special coming for his run in the next few weeks. Yes. And then, yeah, so I don't know.
He's just adding pages, and not even in issues. Just he's in specials.
I think he wanted. I think he wanted Action Comics as well, and they said no, you can't have that. Mark Waid's doing stuff over there, and he's like, oh, fine, well, give me specials every month. Then.
I'll take 10 48-page specials. Oh wait, chill.
All right, Batgirl issue 2. Oh, that cover. It's very, very nice. Cass is in an outfit sort of jumping, and there's like bats all swarming at the bottom like a horror movie, and then I'm assuming that's her mother in the background in the cloud looking all kind of evil-esque. But no, really fun cover. This is one of the things I'm not only am I most excited for it because I love the idea of getting a solo Cass book again, but I'm also excited for it just because it was such an out of nowhere surprise. I did not I had no expectation we even had a possibility of getting a book like this. So hopefully I like it.
Me too.
Yes. Gotham City Sirens Uncovered issue 1. Cover collection. Not much to say. Harley Quinn 46 by Elliot Callan and Mindy Lee. Poison Ivy 28, which I'm sure you're into. Yeah, I'm sure there's some perverted covers that you're going to like, probably.
Not perverted. There's a nice one, third one over. Looks like a Frisian.
I mean, it's a little bit like bait.
Oh no, there's the Frisian. That's the purple and blue. There's the Frisian.
And the one before the last one, the second last one, like she's her ass is basically sticking at the camera here. So there's definitely some perv bait. Like no denying it. Catwoman 71 by Toron Grumbeck and Mariana Ignazi. I just wanted to say Grumbeck again. So fun. Birds of Prey 16, which funnily enough is featuring Cass as the main cover star here. Funnily, so you know, Cass is really getting her time in the sun right now between Birds of Prey and her own book. But yes, it's still Thompson with Sami Basri on the art. So super fun. Batman and Robin Year 1 issue 3. This is the Mark Waid and Samney book, which we haven't had issue 1 of yet, but obviously there's so many books starting that I'd forgotten about half of these because we've not had issue 1s yet, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a thing. There'll be so many books to read over the next few months.
Yeah, and stuff like this though too, that it's kind of hard to argue against wanting to read it.
Oh yeah, you can.
Maybe I'll catch up when it's collected. It's kind of like I don't know. Waid and Samney on Batman and Robin, and it's an early days story. Kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, you're reading that. You know what you are. It's just so funny because there's nothing that's kind of borderline where maybe it'll get dropped because there's so many books. Like everything feels pretty must read. Maybe 1 or 2 will be surprisingly stinkers. I mean, but they're all pretty must read.
If I have to sacrifice a book, it's gonna start with Zdarsky's Batman, right? It's not gonna be a Waid and Samney book.
I mean, sure you drop you read other stuff that's less interesting. I'm sure. Do you not?
Yeah, no, I do. But I'm just saying, if push comes to shove, I'm definitely siding with Waid. That's all.
I mean, that's fair, but don't be a dick and leave me reading Zdarsky Batman on my own. That's just cruel.
You don't have to read it, Pete, if you're not enjoying it.
Yes, I do. I gotta do it. Anyway, Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween, issue 4, which, again, just call it The Last Halloween. It's a great title. It's closely connected to Long Halloween. You don't have to have both. Anyway, obviously excited for that, too.
This is the art by Cliff Chiang book, because I guess each of the books are going to have a different artist.
Yes.
So this is the Cliff Chiang one, so it should look pretty good.
Batman Dark Patterns issue 1. So this is the new 12-issue series, which it doesn't say that in the Solicit. I only know that because Dan Waters said that on Twitter, and I happened to see it. So this is a 12-issue limited series by Dan Waters and Hayden Sherman on the art. I'll read the description of this one since you're wondering what this is. Set during the early years of Batman's career, Batman Dark Patterns delves into 4 mysterious cases as he attempts to cement his place as Gotham City's protector, while the city itself fights back against him. This is the Dark Knight detective at his most stripped-down core, a man relying on his wits, his skills, his little else to tackle some of the most twisted mysteries in Gotham City and its protector I've ever encountered. Case 1, We Are Wounded. So I'm assuming since it's 4 cases, it'll be 3 issues per case, if that's how they're doing it.
The math does math.
Yeah. A series of sickeningly gruesome murders has sent shockwaves through Gotham. Are these random works of a serial killer, or are they something more sinister at play? Batman attempts to get to the bottom of the mystery before any more victims are claimed. Honestly, this sounds great.
This is the closest to the Black Case book style book that I think we've ever gotten.
For me, this is just a case of like early days Batman stories are just potentially so much fun, and I think. If I have another like collection I can recommend, like, okay, read Year 1, read Long Halloween and Dark Victory, read the Man Who Laughs, or that's book? Yeah, Batman the Man Who Laughs. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Right? If I can throw this into the pile and say, hey, here's another like set of him, like just Batman solving serial killer cases in that era, that sounds great. Yeah, do it. It's the thing is, like, sometimes people complain there's too many Batman books, and arguably there is, but between Absolute Batman getting added, this getting added, and all these other things, but they all sound good. They all have good teams. They all have good premises.
Like, as a known Batman hater, and I don't mean like I hate Batman. I mean as like as the kids say, hater, right? Like, I'm very critical of Batman. It's not the character's fault that these writers have these types of ideas, right? Like, Dan Waters also has shown an understanding of the Gotham underworld, right? Because he's the writer that took on Ten-Eyed Man and made him so much fun to read. So I'm curious to see what this would be like.
Hey, if some of that atmosphere is in there, I certainly will not be complaining.
Yep. No. So,
but I mean, to be fair as well, because of the Absolute line, we now have like an extra Green Lantern book, an extra Wonder Woman book, an extra Superman book, and probably soon an extra Flash book. I mean, they've not announced that yet, but I mean, I feel like it's probably on the horizon. What's this surprise? Two-Face issue 1. Christian Ward writing with Fabio Veras on the art. After year, this is probably a mini-series. It doesn't say that, but because they don't tell us.
Christian Ward, like.
Well, it's not just that, but it's just what the book is. I just have to judge it and make a guess, and I'm guessing this is a 6-issue miniseries, and that's probably it. That's my guess. Anyway, after years of internal conflict, both halves of Harvey Dent have reached an uneasy peace. Now, Harvey will use his skills as an attorney to resolve the conflicts of Gotham's weirdest and most dangerous criminals, starting with Victor Zsasz. When Zsasz is accused of murdering a fellow member of Gotham's underworld contingent, who better to prove a criminal's innocence than someone who's been on both sides of the law? So this is a story about Two-Face becoming a lawyer for other villains in Gotham. I mean, it's an interesting premise. I cannot deny it.
Nope.
What did Christian Ward do that I really liked? I feel like he did a Black Label book recently, did he not?
Yeah, he did the Batman where he goes to the opposite side. What was that called? The Cthulhu Batman.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
He did Cthulhu Batman. He did.
That's not what it was called, but yeah.
Yeah. He did the art for Andromeda. That's pretty good.
That was great. But I knew he'd written something. I just couldn't remember what it was. But no, that Batman Cthulhu thing was. It wasn't perfect. It had some flaws, but it was so rich in ideas and looked so good that it was a great read. So Okay, yeah, I think based on the premise sounding kind of interesting and Christian Ward being there, at least he's not. Admittedly, he's not doing the art though. We're not getting Christian
No,
Ward art. We're getting Fabio Veris art, and I don't
Varys.
know what that looks like. I assume it might be. Well, no, because the cover's by Baldemar Rivas. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, I don't
And
know.
there's a Christian Ward and a Chris Somney variant too. So yeah, we don't know. We don't have any of his.
Yeah, well, that Samney variant's quite nice.
Yes, it is.
Very nice. Batman Superman World's Finest 34. We're doing Batgirl stuff in this issue. And Super Pet stuff, apparently. Okay. Super Pets have gone berserk. Metropolis and Gotham City stand on the verge of ruin. And Batgirl and Jimmy Olsen are going to be the ones that... Alright, okay.
Okay.
I'm in.
I don't think I've ever seen that combination before.
Hey, gingers have to stick
I
together.
was gonna say, Gingers unite.
I do love Batgirl Babs in her blue, grey, and yellow outfit.
Yes.
I do have a fondness for that old school stuff. Titans 18, John Layman's and Pete Woods. Yeah, cool. Nice colourful cover. We got JSA issue 2, Jeff Lemire with Diego Olortegui on the art. Obviously we're excited for this, but can't really say much yet. Black Canary Best of the Best issue 2 by Tom King and Ryan Sook. I forgot this was a thing.
No, not me.
Because they only just announced it last Solicits, so I just completely forgot it existed. And the cover's really nice as well. It's like a little girl with like an adult's leather jacket around her, and then in the mirror reflection it's Black Canary. So I presume this is Dinah as a kid, and then looking at the mirror and seeing herself as an adult. So it's a really pretty cover. You've got all the light coming through the blinds that are somewhere in the room. It's really nice stuff. Black Lightning issue 2 by Brandon Thomas and Fico Ozio. We got The Flash 16 by Cy Spurrier and Vasco Georgiev. We got Green Lantern 18, Jeremy Adams, Zormanico on this issue, which is cool. It's a very nice cover as well.
Very, very light driven. You got some greens and purples and or violets rather. So
and they are doing United Planet stuff like they promised, so that's cool. Green Arrow 19 by Chris Condon and Montos on art.
yes.
Green Lantern Green Arrow World's Finest Special issue 1.
Yep, and look at the creative team.
It's Jeremy Adams writing with art by Lucas Meyer and Travis Mercer. Well, I mean, look, if this was the Green Arrow writer, I'd probably just ignore it. But because it's Adams from Green Lantern, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm in for this now. So yeah, we get an interesting one shot. Okay, that's a nice surprise. Power Girl issue 16, Leah Williams and Adriana Mello. Shazam 18 by Josie Campbell and Dan McDade. And it looks like, based on the cover, that Mary's going to have to deal with Savannah's, like, was it daughter? Yeah, Lady Savannah. The Question All Along the Watchtower issue 2 by Alex Segura and Cian Turmey. I definitely forgot this existed from last Solicits. Hey, they've announced so many goddamn books for like September, for October through December. You know,
this is Montoya as the sheriff of the Watchtower. I distinctly remember. I'll never forget this one.
I mean, yeah, I remember you say that, and that is a cool premise. It's got a cool cover as well. I'm down for Montoya books. Milestone Universe Shadow Cabinet issue 2. We have DC Horror Presents issue 3. Frank Avila stuff in there. Oh man.
Written and drawn.
Damn it.
Wow.
DC Horror Presents Creature Commandos issue 3.
Dawson Alchian book. I forgot. See, this is the one that I forgot about.
We got some facsimile editions, which I'll just sort of breeze by, because if you really care about facsimile editions, you can go check those out for yourself.
Yeah.
Batman Santa Claus Silent Night Returns issue 2 by Jeff Parker. Yeah, because they're doing this again for Christmas season. Issue 3 is also solicited here, as is issue 4 and 5. So it's a 5-issue series this time. Cool. It was only 4 issues last year, I think.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Or 2 years ago. I think was it actually last year or was it the year before?
It was last year.
Okay, it was last year. So that's cool. That's why it's starting in November then, because they have to. Well, obviously, they can't have it go into
5th.
January. That'd just be weird.
Mm-hmm.
But cool. I'm down for more Jeff Parker at DC.
Yep.
Green Lantern Dark issue 2. I forgot about this. Jeez. Tate Brombal writing with Werther Dell'Edera on the art, if I'm saying that right. I do like the coloring on that cover.
Mm-hmm.
The use of the shadows with the green light is quite nice. Dark Knights of Steel All Winter issue 6, which is the final issue of All Winter, coming out in December. DC versus Vampires World War V issue 5. We have The Nice House by the Sea issue 6. And that says of 12. What these ones are saying that they're, Plastic Man No More issue 4 of 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I mean, that first issue was good. So Christopher Cantwell, but on one of those new books that we mentioned earlier, does make me a bit more optimistic as well. Batman Gargoyle of Gotham issue 3 by Raphael Grampa. Yes.
This is the book that I didn't remember if I read until I started reading it. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I read this.
Yeah, to be fair, there's been a massive gap between issue 2 and 3, so I wouldn't have necessarily made fun of you that much if you'd forgotten it again now. But I feel like I'll have to go back and reread the first 2 before I read this one.
I remember it being very moody, and that really struck a tone.
Yeah, I remember how it looks. Like I remember what the Batsuit looks like and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny Sparks issue 5 of 7. I thought it was 6. Interestingly, so yeah, fair enough. I'll take 1 extra.
Maybe they gave him an extra.
Maybe they did. Yeah, maybe they threw him some more pages. Batman Full Moon issue 3. This is your werewolf Batman story, which Matt, I mean, it's got Subicon art, right?
Yeah.
For one, but also you're a parody of yourself, and we'll read anything that's werewolf based. So there you go.
True.
Our 80-page anthology DC book for Christmas is called DC's Batman Smells and Robin Laid an Egg.
Oh boy.
I appreciate what they're playing with.
Yeah.
Now, we've not really done these anthology books for years at this point, but I'm especially not going to do it this year when there's so many new books launching. But,
yes,
it's nice that they exist. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, let's give them a bit of credit for doing something creative with the title.
Yeah. That said, there's a Lee Bermo cover with Deadman and like Joker Santa Claus that looks pretty cool, and it's just making me think of Art the Clown with his Santa hat on, to be honest, from Terrifier 3. Little Batman Month 1 issue 2, and then we got Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries 12 and Scooby-Doo Where Are You 131. That wraps up the single issues. Onto the collections, there is Absolute Power collected in hardcover.
Coming out in February.
Yeah, it's for February. Yeah, they're always a little bit more in advance for the collections.
That's still pretty quick turnaround for the event.
Yeah. Does it mention here like what it includes?
184 pages.
It doesn't say, I don't think, in the text. What I mean, obviously it includes issue 1 through 4 and probably the 0 issue prelude thing, but it doesn't. The page count to me doesn't suggest that it includes any of the tie-ins.
No.
So fair enough.
Because even with 184 pages, it's not a lot, right?
No,
so that's maybe 5 issues worth of things. So yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Checks out.
I don't know if it's big enough in total to do something called an omnibus, but I could see a big deluxe hardcover later on that has a lot of the tie-ins in it. Admittedly, Absolute Power Origins, which is next here, collected in softcover, does make sense as its own little collection. As does Absolute Power Task Force 7, which is those 6 effectively one-shots.
So that's 6 issues, right? And that's 176 pages. So give or take up here with 184.
Yeah, well, there's less Absolute Power issues, but they're longer.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Mystic U Freshman Year Enchantments. This is that sort of Zatanna Magic School book that was.
That's right.
This is a while ago now, right?
A long while ago.
So that's got a soft cover. Harley Quinn's Bud and Lou Terrible Times 2. This looks like a graphic novel rather than a collection. Just based on it. We have Deceased Compact Edition, which they've been doing these. Same with Static Season 1 Compact Edition, Birthright Superman Compact
Jeez.
Edition, Batwoman Elegy Compact Edition. Then we got DC's Finest Doom Patrol, The World's Strangest Heroes, which is a 600-page softcover, a bit big for a softcover, but this is Doom Patrol 86 to 102, plus some Brave and the Bold and a couple other random issues of things. Is this a particular like run that it's doing here, or because it's not like a volume 2? Because given that it starts at 86, I would have thought, oh, that's like volume 4 in a series.
Maybe it's like a wild card collection of stuff that didn't fit, stuff that was in between runs or whatever. I don't know. Because calling it the World's Strangest Heroes also, like you said, it's not a volume.
No, I wonder though, because like I know Birds of Prey by Gail Simone got a few collections and they didn't number them. I'm wondering if it's just like that, where this is technically like volume 4,
right?
In a set. It's just that they're not numbering them because that's annoying, but it sells more books.
So it just says it collects stories from March 64 to November 66 from the page of My Greatest Adventure, Doom Patrol, The Brave and the Bold, Challenge of the Unknown, and Teen Titans 6.
Yeah,
so
but
maybe
it's worth mentioning though. Doom Patrol and My Greatest Adventure are just like chunks. They're not like different random issues. It is a stretch of time. Anyway, DC's Finest Green Arrow Longbow Hunters softcover.
Never out of print. This one's always coming back.
Yeah, but this isn't just that series though. This is like this is basically your first collection in like an entire like Mike Grell run, because this has got the issues 1 to 3 of Longbow Hunters, but it also has the first 8 of the actual ongoing and a few other tie-in issues. So clearly this is going to be something to do a volume 2 of and presumably finish his entire run in this format. DC's Finest Harley Quinn, Birth of the Mirth. Yeah, cool. Paul Dini and co. DC's Finest Teen Titans, The Judas Contract. Also reprint stuff here. Absolute Superman Red Sun. So I assume that's had a Red Sun before, or a Absolute before. Maybe it hasn't, but it seems like one.
Maybe it hasn't, yeah.
Batman 89 Echoes softcover, Batman and Robin by Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, book 2. So this is your second sort of thick softcover. Doing 15 to 28 and annual 1 to 2. So I assume that's the end of it, right? If this is the New 52 run?
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Batman and Robin Volume 2, as in Williamson's current series, Volume 2. We got Batman by James Tynion the Fourth Omnibus, Volume 1. So that's kind of cool. That's got Batman 107 to 111, which doesn't sound like that much, but it also has like a couple of annuals, the Warzone special, a Secret Files issue, Pennyworth RIP, Joker 1 to 4, Punchline special, 80th anniversary 100-page spectacular. Like this has 1,000 pages, and even though it's technically James Tynion's Batman run, and it's 1,000 pages, it only actually has 5 issues of Batman in it, which is wild. That's so much extra stuff that he was doing around that time.
Oh yeah, because the Alpha and Omega type stuff too, right? There's so much stuff that was in there.
Oh no, wait, hold on. I tell a lie. They've just split them up here. So it's actually got 86 to 105 and then 107 to 111. But for some reason they've split them up in the list. That was, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of other like one shots and like miniseries in there.
Yeah.
But it's not quite as silly as just 5 issues. It's more like 10.
But it's missing 106. So he must have not done 106?
I assume so, yeah. Maybe that was a tie into an event or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can assume. Batman Volume 4, Dark Prisons. That's Zarsky's newest volume, hardcover. Batman Volume 4, War, Jokes and Riddles, new edition, which is obviously from Tom King's run. Isn't it wild that the runs that were happening in our first year of the show are getting like new editions now? Like,
yeah,
been doing this a while. World's Finest Volume 5, Secret Origins hardcover, which is World's Finest 18 to 19 and 25, plus the annual. Wait, what was 28 to 24? Was that a different run or a different arc? That just sounds confusing. Doesn't matter. Whatever.
No.
Batman Nightfall Omnibus Volume 2. This is just under 1,000 pages. I don't remember if this is like the end of it, or if there's a volume 3 of this coming. I don't remember how long it is to tell you, but no, I mean it says Night Quest, which I think means that it is just the middle chapter. Because even the old paperbacks of Nightfall were pretty thick. So I think this is just an expanded version of those in hardcover. And oversized as well, to be fair. Brave and the Bold, Volume 2, The Book of Destiny, by Mark Waid. That's worth mentioning. We got Forever Evil Omnibus.
Dang.
I know. That's 1,200 pages, has the main miniseries, but also has the tie-in miniseries from the same time, plus a couple of issues of various books that were tying in. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Rogues Rebellion. I'm trying to remember some of these. Like, I know I read them, because that was my period where I was reading everything. Like Arkham War, I don't even remember what that was about.
I don't know if I read Arkham War. I definitely read Rogues Rebellion, and I definitely read...
I read the Argus, I think.
And I read Justice League and Justice League of America, which were full... They had full arcs that were tying in. Basically, if you were reading the event, you wanted to read them all in the right order, so it was like, you know, event issue 1, then Justice League, then JLA, and then so on and so on. Right. Okay. I think I read Rogues Rebellion, but I don't think I read Arkham War at the time, or the Argus miniseries. But yeah, it seems to have everything, which is cool. Flash by Grant Morrison and Mark Miller Deluxe Edition. This is the little... This isn't even after Mark Waid's run. This is actually in the middle of Mark Waid's run. Mark Waid took like a year off or something like that, and then Morrison and Miller came in and did a couple of arcs. I've never read it, but I know that's where it fits. So, given that you can get omnibuses of all of Waid's run and Johnsy's run, it's nice that you can get a similar sized hardcover for this little insert now. So for completion's sake, I appreciate it. Green Lantern War Journal Volume 2 softcover, obviously the back half of that story. Icon versus Hardware softcover. John Constantine Hellblazer Dead in America softcover. Justice Society of America Volume 2, this is the recent John series. Hardcover this one is. Finishing up that. Then we got Legion of Superheroes The Great Darkness Saga Deluxe Edition. So there you go, that's a 400-page hardcover. Then we got Milestone Compendium 4, which is a 1,300-page softcover, which is insanity. Prez by Mark Russell and Ben Caldwell, Deluxe Edition.
Oh, that'll be good to read. I missed that one, and it's kind of hard to find. So the fact that they're getting a deluxe.
I'm sure you can read it digitally anytime you want, Matt.
Yeah, I know, but for something like that, I'd like to have it, you know. It's Mark Russell. I'm trying to pick up all that stuff, Wonder Twins and...
Sure. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Volume 1 Absolute Edition. We all know Alan Moore loves when DC makes more money off of his stuff, so I'm sure he's yelling at a cloud right now as we speak.
Oh, and if he's yelling at a cloud, that means he's doing spells, so...
Yeah. Well, by the way, when I say that, I'm not even like I'm not even saying he's wrong to be upset, because DC and Warner Brothers have definitely pulled some shit over him. For sure. But it's just such like a caricature at this point to joke about Alan Moore being mad at DC for whatever. Shazam Volume 2. This is the second volume in the Mark Waid, Josie Campbell one. In fact, this actually lists them both, meaning that it probably crosses over into Campbell's issues here, 7 to 12. Softcover, Static, Shadows of Dakota. Softcover, Superman Action Comics Volume 3, Revenge of the Demon. And this is the... I don't know if it's the end. Is it the end of Johnson's run?
It's the end of Johnson's run. They did the stuff with the crossover worlds. And, you know, they came and took one of the twins. And that's where it resolved. Because there was that special that ended on...
Well, yeah, I wasn't asking like the content or like the plot. I just meant like I couldn't see the numbers of the issues anywhere, which is why I was questioning. Gotcha. So I mean, do you know for sure this is like containing those final issues?
I think so, because that was the last story he did was Revenge of the Demon, So I
Ah,
don't.
fair.
I don't
Now, fair. If you
yeah.
remember that name for the arc, then fair enough. But there was
Yeah.
no information in the solicit actually saying what the issues were.
Yeah.
The Boy Wonder hardcover, the Junie Ba book that just wrapped up. Red Hood, The Hill softcover. Far Sector Deluxe Edition, so that's getting a nice big deluxe. And that wraps up the Solicits. That was a beefy one. Bunch of new things, a lot of collections, a lot of them reprints, admittedly, but that's good. I mean, keep things in print by all means, but
yes,
I almost feels that they don't need to be in the Solicits though. You could put out like a separate like collection Solicits that we don't have to look at.
that would be nice.
That said, I suppose we could just not do the collections, but I feel like we might as well since we're
but sometimes they tack stuff on at the end and we miss things, right? Like sometimes the Solicits get out of order.
That's true.
Compiling them.